Web design is not dead. However, AI is absolutely disrupting the industry, in particular the design workflow. In Framer, we can use a wide range of AI tools to make the best part of building sites the only part, as well as creating new outputs that were never possible before. So in this video, I'm going to teach you 5 practical ways you can use AI in Framer without it taking your job. Let's go. This video is sponsored by Framer. So we're going to cover a few different things. First, we'll build a complete page structure using Wireframer. Then we'll explore building or vibe coding custom code components. Third, we'll see how we can translate our entire site using AI for multiple languages. After that, we'll explore some AI plugins available on the marketplace. Then finally, I'll give you a sneak peek at the future and how we can use an MCP server to connect Framer with Claude Code, Cursor, or anything else. And if you don't know what an MCP server is, don't worry, we'll cover that too. So the first thing we're going to look at is using Wireframer. Now, Wireframer is really great for generating full pages in a wireframe fashion. If you really are stuck on a project and you don't know how to begin, Wireframer can be a great way to start. So to use it, I can go to the insert menu at the top left and open Wireframer. Now I can paste in my prompt here. So I'm going to ask it to create an about page, including a section for my values, my team members, and a way to get in touch via a contact form. So we'll let that do its thing. Now, the great thing about Wireframer is, hence the name, it's actually going to generate a wireframe for us. So it's not going to apply any sort of styling choices or anything like that. It's essentially going to build the foundation for you to then add on and actually kind of tweak to kind of match your fancy. But as you can see, it's done an okay job here. It's added a bit of a hero section. It's got a section for my values, about the team, and then a contacts form down at the bottom here too. Now I can also make tweaks to this page as well. So let's say I want to ask it to make a footer. I can just quickly search for that. And as you can see, it'll add it to the page. Now, in practice, what I really like about Wireframer is everything is built in a really clean way. And if you've seen any of my other tutorials, you know it's really important that we actually build things in Framer the right way from the get-go. So even though this might not look the best or, it kind of follows the very simple wireframe approach and it's not a full end-to-end website that you can just immediately use, what I do like about this is things are built in a really clean way. So if I want to change the layout, the structure, all I really have to focus on now is actually the styling of this rather than the actual structure of the page. Now, let's say I want to build something in Framer, but it might not be possible natively out of the box. For example, if I want to build a cool sort of interactive carousel component, I might not be able to do this just by using Framer natively. And that's okay, because this is where we can actually use code components in Framer, which essentially allow us to build these React-based components that essentially allow us to visualize or display any sort of component on the canvas with code. However, I don't write code, and probably neither do you, but this is where we can actually use the workshop plugin to actually build these components for us. And this is kind of Framer's answer to vibe coding. So what I'm going to do is actually go down to the plugins icon at the bottom here. I'm going to open this up and we're going to open the workshop plugin. So I'll open this just like so. And now I can write in my prompt for the component that I want to generate. So I might ask it to build a 3D carousel component that tilts the images based on the cursor placement. And we'll kind of see what it comes out with. Now, essentially what it's going to do is actually generate that code for us in the form of a code component. Okay, so as you can see, it's created this sort of component here, and let's actually put this on the page so we can actually preview this. So I'll paste it in here really quickly. So as you can see, we kind of have this carousel component that it's actually generated here, but on each actual image, essentially what it's done, it's got this sort of tilt effect as well. So natively, this wouldn't be possible in Framer, but using a code component, we can actually bring it to life. And the great thing about this component is we actually have what's called property controls, which you can find within this properties panel on the right-hand side. So for example, I could set up every card here. So let's change the image of this first card. So let's actually pull in a couple of different images here. So that can be image 1, image 2 can be something different as well. And lastly, image number 3. Okay, cool. So now when I actually preview this again, you can see those properties have been pulled through to this component here. And now we have this like really interactive carousel component all made in, well, with AI in Framer, which is just crazy. And you can start to see just some of the really cool things you can do when you can actually communicate clearly to an AI what you want to create. Okay, so let's move on and let's actually look at translating our entire website using AI. Now, if you're like me and you run a company that's global and you have customers in all corners of the world, you definitely want to make sure that your website is readable by any other sort of language. Now, what I can actually do is go to the top panel here and open up localization. And what I can do is actually add a locale for my website. Now we'll set the default language, so in this case, English, and we'll set that here. And what I can essentially do is create a new locale, so another different option for a language that someone can switch to on my website. So let's actually go Italian. So I'll search for Italian here, and we'll select that, and we'll go add. Now, what this is essentially going to do is it's going to basically pick up all of the content on my website here across all of the pages. And what this is going to do is essentially starting to translate all of that content for me, saving me a ton of time, especially because I don't speak Italian whatsoever. And we can just literally just sit back and watch it do the nitty-gritty work. Okay, so as you can see, it's gone through and it looks like it's translated everything correctly. Now, if I go back to my canvas here and go down to this bottom bar, I can essentially switch the language here and we can actually get a preview of the website in that localized language. So in this case, Italian. And again, all I had to do was press one button and the AI kind of did the rest for me, saving me a ton of time, especially if I want to build an international based website. Now, let's talk about AI plugins for Framer. Now, if you go to the Framer Marketplace, there are a ton of different AI plugins that you can use, and actually recommends that you spend a little bit of time exploring these and seeing which ones might be useful for you, even if you don't need them for a particular project right now. Again, all of this is just knowledge and the understanding of how or where you can use AI in Framer. That is the real superpower, because when you actually approach a challenge or you've got a project in the future, you can start thinking differently in terms of how you solve some of those workflow challenges using some of the plugins that are actually available on the marketplace. But I want to show you two in particular that I personally use. Now, the first plugin is FrameGen, which essentially lets you build AI images all inside of Framer. So instead of going to ChatGPT, Gemini, and trying to create an image there and then being able to import that into Framer, sometimes I just find it easier from a workflow perspective to do it all in Framer. And that's what the FrameGen plugin does. Essentially, it has all the sort of models built in and you can just like generate your images all inside of Framer, pick the one that looks best for you, and then just instantly insert it on the canvas. Again, saving you a ton of time. Now, the next one I want to talk to is AI Frame. Now, there's a bunch of different tools actually within this plugin. So they have agents, which essentially allows you to communicate to your Framer site to complete certain tasks. They have text generator, again, really good if you want to get rid of the days of lorem ipsum. They've got a site builder, which is pretty similar to Wireframer, a site audit, which will essentially analyze all of your content and your copy and see where you can improve. A CMS editor, which is really cool as well as a teacher. So if you actually have Framer related questions, you can just put it in here and it's like talking to a chatbot and it will kind of help you answer any sort of question you may have. Just a really handy plugin to know and to have in your toolkit as you build Framer sites. Okay, so the last thing I want to call out is Framer's MCP server. Now, I will note at the time of recording this, this is in a private beta, so I can't share too much, but they have announced this publicly. Now, essentially, what this is allowing you to do is actually connect Framer to an LLM. And essentially, what this does, it means you can do certain actions in Framer or build things all using a LLM. Now, this actually uses a type of MCP server to make this happen. Now, what is an MCP server? Essentially, it's a bridge or connector between an app, in this case Framer, and a LLM, say using Claude Code, Cursor, or Codex. So we can actually connect Framer and make the AI do things for us. For example, I could ask Claude to create a new CMS item, and it could just do it without me even touching the Framer project, which is insane. Now, why is this actually powerful? Well, it means that I can actually take all the busy work that I might do in Framer and pretty much eliminate it and just get Claude or a LLM to do it without me having to even touch the Framer project. It can like build site sections, it can update the content in the CMS, it can press publish. There's so much that it could actually do. And kind of where I think about where these AI sort of models and things that are going in these connectors and then these MCP servers, especially when it comes to Framer, I think where we're going to see more innovation happen is in terms of trying to speed up your workflow rather than like replace it. Which kind of takes us back to this initial concept of this entire video, which is, will designers be replaced by AI? Absolutely not. It's not going to happen. Don't stress. But the industry is going to change, and the workflows and the processes that we follow will evolve with it. So I do think it's extremely important as a web designer, someone who is already publishing with Framer, even though you're a step above the rest of the world because you're already publishing, it is important to use these sort of AI tools because it's going to make you more efficient and faster at what you do. And therefore, you can spend more time focusing on the things that actually matter, which is the creativity and the innovation that comes with websites. And that's 5 practical ways to use AI when building your next site in Framer. Massive thank you to Framer for sponsoring this video. If you're yet to start building, you can get started with the link below. If you enjoyed this video and you want more Framer tutorials just like it, subscribe to the channel because we put out new Framer videos every single week, and let me know in the comments below what you want to learn next. But until next time, I'll catch you later.